and factual inaccuracies. He tried to sell a incorrect timeline.
The fact is, you have to go and get an attorney. I mean, everybody. Oh, they got to lawyer up. Wait a minute, you just got in office.
Oh, and the fact that he couldn't get an attorney, a good attorney, he could only get this guy. Nobody wants to work with him. And now he's got this inept dude who's going to fuck it up, which is great for us, but it's,
who's going to get Kushner? Now, Kushner's next, right? They want to talk to him, too.
Well, I think Sessions is going to be the next to testify.
Well, Sessions is talking about resigning. They want him. They want him out. I mean, because he's not doing what Trump asked him to do. You're not following orders, so they want him out.
Well, and I'm sure Trump, is livid that Sessions recused himself from the Russia deal. It's like, no, I hired you to take care of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And he has not, he hasn't done it.
But yeah, eventually Kushner is going to testify, and we'll see what happens.
You mean he's going to open his mouth and say something?
Yeah, we're actually going to,
astonishing.
His voice will be.
He's going to finally open his mouth.
He'll come out. He'll sound like this.
But yeah, the voice of Jared Kushner, previously only reserved for the rich and powerful, with whom he makes deals.
Only for Ivanka's tiny shell-like ear.
I think the Daily Show uses Gilbert Gottfried, or some other show uses him.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, we don't know what he sounds like, but here's some actual tape.
It'll be interesting to see, if anything does come of this, and yeah, I really hope, we
nothing will. Yeah.
I don't know. There's the old saying that the only thing necessary for evil to happen is for good men to do nothing. And the problem is we don't even have good men. We have a Republican-led Congress. And so they are obviously going to do nothing. They're standing by their guy because they don't want to admit that they fucked up by backing this horse. They put party before country. They knew they needed to win the election.
And
everything else be damned.
They still are hoping to shake a few little crumbs out of the cookie jar before the cookie jar gets all broken. And that's what's so chilling about it, is that they're just trying to squeeze out another fucking tax cut or put the final knife into, the Obamacare or whatever.
Well, and one thing I think...
And the fact that they're trying to do that, past that, under the radar while the Comey hearings are happening, just speaks volumes about what their real agenda is. They don't give a shit about Trump. Trump is their placeholder so that they can just sneak around and enact their hideous agenda.
Which is why I think one thing people really need to be on the lookout for, because, yeah, as Erika just mentioned, while the Comey hearings were going on, as we said earlier, was it the House or the Senate?
Senate was the hearing.
Yeah, Senate hearing.
Right, and the House passed
did you see
the
that
repeal of
Claire
Dodd-Frank.
McCaskill just going like, what the fuck are you doing? We haven't even seen this. We haven't seen anything. You can't pass that. At least when we were doing Obamacare, you came to us with amendments and we would, we worked with you. But you're not even seen the bill. We don't know what it is. And, it's just beyond anything we've ever seen.
Well, and I think the one thing, and of course no one's mentioning this, and I don't want to sound like I'm in the tinfoil hat brigade, but because the Republicans are slowly doing their stuff, in the background while Trump's tweets and everything are taking the headlines, we've got midterm elections coming up in 2018, and big props to the legislative branch, because for now at least, the courts are still overturning the gerrymandering and all the bullshit little tricks that the Republicans have been doing to slant the elections in their favors over the past 10 years. And we need to make sure that we as Americans need to make sure that keeps happening, that we keep fixing the system to fix what has been broken.
Yeah.
Because, if the Republicans are able to, in the negative sense, fix the electoral system to their, so it does guarantee, long-standing Republican majorities, and it does make it harder to get rid of bad public officials.
Yeah. And just
then the 2018 elections won't mean shit.
This is true.
So
this is true. I think that there are plenty of reasons to be a little bit hopeful. We're seeing a lot of shifting of the tides. The judicial is hanging in there. The press has been heroic. We are watching Fox's numbers fall and MSNBC's rise. Rachel Maddow is the man of the hour.
She just beat the best ratings that Fox has had.
Yeah. And because...
Congratulations.
Yeah, because she's actually doing some reporting. They are reporting the news over there.
Well, they actually never thought, one thing about Fox, they never thought that they would get caught for anything. And they thought they were above the law. I mean, Bill O'Reilly thought that, hey, man, hey, babe, you come through, I'll smack you on the bottom, and, I'll say, hey, baby, and all the stuff to the women, and, you're not going to touch me. Roger Ailes, well, hey, come here, baby. You can't, it's not the 50s and the 60s anymore. These people have had enough, and you can't do it. And it's not, maybe back in the grandmother's days, but now, these millennials and stuff, they're like, hey, I will sue your ass.
Well, that's the amazing thing. Over all these years, a number of people have figured out, and much like climate science and other things of which there's just no end to the proof of the case for them, there are still people who refuse to believe that women don't like getting raped. Weird. It's weird.
It's
I
bizarre.
know. But if you look at the studies and you look at the evidence, it does prove, hey,
we
chicks
fucking hate
don't
it. We don't dig
raped.
it.
Yeah,
look, they don't like you. Look, they want you to lower the toilet seat. Okay? They want you to do that. We're not like you. We don't do the same things you do. You don't do the same things we do. We may both like sports, but hey, we probably like them in different ways.
Wait, are you
equivocating?
One of them.
Anyway, are you saying that leaving the toilet seat up is the same thing as rape?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I never said that.
I think you can definitely say if someone gets upset about something like leaving the toilet seat up, they're going to be really pissed off about getting raped.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me just defend Tymon by describing what he said in my own words. What he was saying is rape is something that women are against, and they don't like it. And men don't like having to put the toilet seat down. And it's just as terrifying for us. And we don't want to live in a world where at any moment we're forced to put a toilet seat down against our will. I think that's not. I don't agree with what he said.
No,
but I think that's what Tymon
just
said.
What I'm saying is that okay. If you think rape is bad, okay, women do not want to be raped, and they don't want to be. But they also, it's just like they don't even want you to, as far as like put the toilet seat down. I mean, we're different. But what I'm trying to say is that we're different things. Yes, and I think it's wrong. I got 5 sisters, and my sisters have been raped. Mm-hmm. So it is. I have a niece also who had been raped, and it's traumatic, and it's and I think any guy that just as minor as open. I see guys won't even open the door. I ain't opening no door. I'm the one taking her out to dinner, dude. You can't have. But be a gentleman. Yes, gentlemen, open the door, do different things. Yes, these are people who become mothers and of our children and everything. And guys are like, well, she shouldn't have wore that. No, she should be able to wear whatever the hell she wants. You need to have some control, fool.
And you know what?
Can I say this?
Yeah.
I think we should never blame the victim of rape. However, if you fall into a toilet because you didn't look and you just assumed that the toilet seat was down, I mean, that's not our fault. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, those are two different things. I'm not blaming the victim of rape. I'm blaming the victim of falling into an open toilet.
Well, and if I can just throw something in here, because Tymon, you obviously, you're making the obvious, or the point that should be obvious to most people, that just because of what a woman is wearing doesn't mean it's okay to touch her against her will. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the ISIS attack on the Iranian parliament this week, the guys got into the parliament dressed as women. So if you want to go all
were they in burqas?
Yeah, so it's like, yes, you
Perfect
must like cover women entirely except for their eyes so they can see where they're walking, but you got to cover them entirely, shroud them in black, and
some of them don't even get the
if they have
hole.
guns,
They just
if they
get
have
the
guns,
different
like the mesh
their
slit, like the
eyes.
confessional.
The screen.
You walk up to women like that, you can confess to them because they're in the same.
But don't they know that men?
For I have sinned.
But they don't understand that men pay attention to shapes. You can.
Well, the guys who were working security at the Iranian parliament didn't.
It's like, that way that controls us.
Well, but that's
because in their thinking, they want to blame the woman. If she's wearing something, look what you made me do to you. No, she didn't make you do anything. She's just being herself, which you should, if you're trying to say that's who you are, then guess what? You're going to jail.
Yeah.
You're going to jail.
In theory, that's what should happen. It usually doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why India is having problems. They're trying to bring India into, change their ways because men there have no respect for women. I mean,
it's terrifying.
I mean, they raped attacked that girl. It wasn't even a rape. It was like a brutal attack on a bus. And she was, I don't know if she was the worst, Yeah. And they said, we got to change? Yes, you have to change. Or you're not invited to the party. Sorry. Yeah.
There's maybe too many problems for us to fix in this hour.
There may be, but
I'd like to fix them something.
Well, let's talk about one thing that we certainly aren't going to fix in the hour, but it is ever present. We sort of started talking about it a little bit before with the Kathy Griffin thing, but I don't know if I think everybody here saw Bill Maher's show last night. Or
I actually just saw that on the Yahoo today. I didn't know anything about it until I saw it. Matter of fact, it was on the Daily Beast, and I just looked at it.
No, I've not seen the follow-up show. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah.
But for those who are not aware of the whole thing, on his show last week, Bill Maher used the N-word, referring to, he said, Ben Sass, Republican senator from Nebraska, who has this book about, we have to beat our children, but that we need to stop coddling kids, that let them have experiences. Scar tissue builds experience. It teaches you how to do stuff. And, Bill Maher said, I support that. I would love to come to Nebraska. And Sass said, we'll put you to work in the fields.
Right.
And Bill Maher said, fields? No, I'm a house
nigger.
And
Can we just have you fill in the word? We'll just lead and then leave it blank.
This is like the most fucked up version of Mad Libs ever.
I know.
Here's the house. I need a noun, Tymon.
He'll say he's not white. He is Jewish, so he's got that. But he's not claiming to be a person of color, and he is not the one who said the N-word just now. I mean, if you're listening at home, he pointed at Tymon, and Tymon knew exactly what word he was looking for. Yeah. It's almost like having a recording,
I mean,
I'm still not going to push the button on the recording. I'm going to ask Tymon to do it.
I mean, again, I think that it's a huge distraction. I mean, I'm not going to defend anybody's use of the N-word, and I'm totally down with that. And it's confusing, it's sensitive, it's changeable, but the rule is the rule now. And out of respect for our black brothers and sisters, fuck that word. I'm never going to use it. But, I think that we're really focusing on things that are not the problem. Kathy Griffin and Bill Maher. I mean, Bill Maher is a dicey piece of goods. Can we just all agree on that? Like, the man it's what's sort of great about him and what's terrible. I'm always uncomfortable watching Bill Maher as a woman, as a liberal, as a person who does not think that all Arab countries are basically producing terrorists or whatever. I think that we're getting